Today on the show, I am making catfish stew. So first thing is for me to clean my catfish. See, it's always very slimy, like slime. So I'm going to put it in this bowl here. So I always tell people one of the easy way, because a lot of people ask me, how do I wash catfish? Just boil hot water and pour on top of it. Yeah, this one has been washed with salt, yet it's bringing out the slime. So I've boiled water. What we have to do now is to take the boiled water and pour it on the fish. The remaining boiled water to wash my rice, I'll just pour it in here. Easy to wash my rice. You can see that. So rather than parboil the rice, you can just pour it in boiled water and rinse it off later. So I'll keep this aside and let me focus on my fish. You can actually see the slime. Okay, now that I've gotten my fish washed and all that slime out, I'm going to season it. So I'll be using 2 seasoning cubes for it to marinate it. Now I'm going to marinate it and allow it rest so that it doesn't break. I'll add a little bit of garlic powder as well. A little bit of salt. Okay, so I'm going to keep it in a corner to rest. So I'll quickly rinse my rice or wash the rice for when I want to cook it. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to blend my tomatoes, pepper and onions. So I will start with blending my tomatoes, pepper and onions. I'm just adding a little bit of water to the blender. And I'll drop my tomatoes, pepper and onions. All right, so this is blended, my tomatoes, pepper and onions. The reason why I'm not, oh my goodness, I forgot my garlic. Why, oh why? Fish and garlic, I always say it, they are one of the best pairs. They pair well together. So I'm going to be adding 3 cloves of garlic. Fish, garlic, they pair well together. So I'm just going to throw that in. I'm hoping it gets to the bottom to blend. Okay, that's fine. So I'll start cooking the tomatoes, pepper, onions in hot oil right now. So I have my pan on the cooker right now. I'll add about 2 to 3 cooking spoons of oil. The question all the time, why do you always add salt to your oil? I keep saying it, it's just to start seasoning my food from the beginning. I'm going to add my sliced onion. I'm going to allow that saute a bit. So quickly I'm going to pour this tomatoes, pepper, onions and garlic into the pot. I'll cover it and allow it cook till it's dry before I'll add the fish. So I'll quickly clean up here, and the next thing I'm going to do is to boil the rice. Okay, so I have my washed rice here. I told you today I'm making parsley rice. My parsley rice is nothing more than just adding herb to this rice. So I'll just add it into the pot. So I'll season that with salt. So I'm going to cover that, allow it cook till it's soft and dry. The next thing I'm going to do now is to, wait for it to cook. So my stew is cooking there, the rice is cooking, my fish is marinating, And what else? I have the parsley from my garden. It's actually growing. So I'm using this parsley for the parsley rice. So I'm going to wash it now with salt. And after cleaning it with salt, I will chop it, then add it to the rice when it's done. So I'm just going to chop the parsley roughly to sprinkle on the rice when it's done. And time for me to add my tomato mix to the stew. So I'll be adding my tomato paste now to the stew to add some lushness, beautiful red to it. So I'm going to stir on that and allow it cook for about 4 to 5 minutes before I add the fish. So while the stew is still cooking, that rice is ready. I'm going to add the parsley and the butter to the rice. Now this just makes your rice, you know, ups it, not the regular. So I'll add my fresh parsley straight from my garden and about 1 tablespoon of butter. So I'll just take a rice paddle and melt this butter on top. Now this looks good. This looks very pretty. The aroma is fantastic. Now anywhere you can add your greens this period, just add it. This looks good. Fluffs looks good. The butter melted into the rice. So I'll turn it off. So right now I'm going to add the catfish to the stew. And look at how red and lush the stew looks like because of the tomato mix. This looks very, very, very beautiful. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to add the fish, the seasoned fish. I'll add some water to it to cook. Season with a little bit of ginger. Season to taste, and you stir on that. Now when stirring, don't forget, you cannot stir this stew for so much. Once or twice is okay because the catfish can break easily. So once you put it in for the first time, within 1 minute or 30 seconds of putting it, you stir, cover and allow it to cook. So my fish stew is ready, my catfish stew is ready. I'm just going to stir on this. This looks really good. Oh my kitchen disaster. But this is good. Now, like I said, if you have to stir, you have to be very careful while stirring because catfish can break. All right, so we have our catfish stew. Is everything good? It's good. Very good. Fantastic. Food done. So it's time to serve. I made this catfish stew with tomato mix.
Wow.
There's tomatoes, pepper, onions in it.
Okay.
But you know, to give us that red lushness,
right,
beautiful tomato look, I added tomato mix
as
the tomato paste in it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to have a taste of it.
Okay.
Yeah, and let's go. What do you think about the rice already?
It's nice. It has this extra flavor.
Where do you think the extra flavor is coming from?
I think it's parsley.
The parsley, yeah, the parsley is that extra flavor in the rice with some butter.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. The parsley. It just makes the rice a bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not your normal white rice all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the stew in itself is actually very tasty.
The stew is tasty, actually.
It's seasoned with chicken seasoning cube. I use it to marinate the fish, and I also use it to cook the stew.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. I'm glad I waited. This is so good.
You know, these days, anywhere at all, you can add your greens or vegetables your herbs, please do, to boost your immune system.
And it's fresh because yeah.
I think parsley just adds this freshness
To it,
your food.
yeah.
It just adds freshness to it.
I like it. The fish is also really tasty. You know, sometimes when you cook catfish, it's hard to get the flavor into the fish.
So that's why you have
taste
to.
The flavor.
You have to marinate it before time when you need to.
Like for how long?
An hour, 2 in the fridge, 24 hours even. Yes, it's best.
So juicy.
It's best 24 hours. Just marinate it and keep it.
Yeah.
Because you know you can't cook it for too long, or else it will break. Yeah, fish doesn't cook for more than 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Really, for 5 minutes.
Starts breaking.
So before all those things will enter inside, it's done. Yeah, so it's best you marinate it before you use it to cook. Yeah.
If you like this video, please give me a thumb up, share and comment. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, do click on the subscribe button and notification bell to enjoy more of my recipes.